offensively here. Vinny Del Negro going with a smaller, quicker lineup so that they can switch all their screens or any kinds of picks where there's two guys coming together. Paul Pierce is the most dangerous man right now, and he's the guy throwing the ball inbounds. So you got to be aware of him stepping back inbounds and getting that ball.
Showed you before, no fouls to give. They had just substituted for Lindsey Hunter, but it was too late. So Hunter is back on the sideline. Selmans, Rose, Heinrich, Noah, and Gordon for Chicago. It's Rondo picked up by Rose. Back to Pierce. Oh, he's getting to his sweet spot. He's working on Selmans. He'll force the issue over Selmans. Rebound by Noah. He collects his 15th rebound. Here comes Gordon. Bounces on him. Ben Gordon with the floater again. Rebound by Pierce. Loose ball foul called inside on Chicago in 46.8 seconds to play in regulation. Noah picks up the foul. Noah is fouled out of the game.
Eddie House looked over and said, talk about my defense now, because I've been talking about how they've been going at him the whole series. Eddie's best defense today has been his offense, knocking down all those shots. He's been able to stay on the floor. Ben Gordon that time thinking he was fouled on the drive.
Brad Miller comes in for Noah.
It's amazing, guys, here. Everything we say, boy, everybody talks about what they say about you during the telecast. Eddie, I'm talking about how on fire you are today offensively.
Paul Pierce at the free throw line, 5 of 6. 19 points, 20 for Ray Allen. 15 for Davis and 14 points and 13 rebounds for Perkins. Off the bench, they got 14 tonight from Eddie House, who did not miss a single one of his 5 shots.
Well, one of the things about Ben Gordon, he's 15 of 15 from the line for 33 points, 7 of 20, 4 of his last 17. So he got off to the terrific start, and since that point in time, they've done a nice job. He has gotten to the foul line.
20 for Pierce. Timeout taken. 46.8 seconds to play. And the Boston Celtics have built their lead to 7, 102 to 95. Reset right there. The Bulls have 2 timeouts and Boston has 1. Chicago will have it. Here comes Marbury in the game. Off of Rondo, House, Allen, and Pierce.
Talked about how the Celtics got into penalty at the 8:20 mark of that 4th period. They have not shot the ball well from the field, but 12 of 13 from the free throw line. So those early fouls by the Bulls got them in trouble. And if the Celtics win this game, well, because they converted at the free throw line in the 4th period.
Derrick Rose will inbound. Picked up by Allen, a screen by Miller, pick and roll. Here comes Miller inside. Out of that timeout, good play call. 5-point game, 42.3. House. Ray Allen, chased by Miller. Oh, Allen bobbled it. And still got it to go.
You know what? Ray Allen was looking over his shoulder, and he saw Brad Miller coming. And he knew a hard foul was on the way. He almost turned that ball over. Watch Ray Allen now. He catches this ball, and watch him look over his shoulder, and when he did, he almost lost that ball. Fortunately, he gets it to go. I feel Brad Miller, where are you? A little touch that foul that time by Brad Miller. And a 3-point play here could put the icing on the cake. Doc Rivers says, I do not want to see any more of these Chicago Bulls for a long, long time.
Miller's just fouled out. Joining Noah is the other guy who's fouled out for Chicago. 36.6 to play in regulation. Allen is 8 of 8 from the line with a Boston high 22. They'll try to complete the 3-point play. Hunter is coming for Miller. That was the substitution that the Chicago Bulls had to make. Point game if he hits. Timeout Chicago. They've got one left. Well, we always like to take a peek at our keys and see how accurate we were as we came into the game. Doug, you constructed.
Points for Ray Allen, 7 rebounds. And how about Rondo? 7 points, 11 assists. Eddie House with 14. And the bench with 26 points tonight. They're high for this 7-game series. So everybody a collective effort tonight for the Celtics. And that's what Doc Rivers said. Trust each other. We got 37 seconds here to go to put the finishing touches on this round 1 win. Moving on to look at face Orlando here on Monday night.
Tyrus Thomas has come in for Hunter. Selmans. Gordon over Allen for 3. Tap in was good. Kirk Heinrich was the one to tap it in. He's had a good second half. 16 points for the game. There's a steal right there. Gordon will put this over Pierce. And chased to the corner by Selman. What if he had hit that shot from 3? My goodness.
Rondo is your point guard, taking the ball out. He's got to know you got timeouts. You got a 122nd timeout. He tried to loft the ball to Paul Pierce, who didn't come after it. These games aren't over. I mean, you cannot relax. He hits that 3. It's a 3-point game. It's a 1-possession game.
Rondo will call time, and that is the final Boston timeout. 6-point game, 25.6 to play.
When you are winning, the clock will not go. It will not stop. And usually those shots, when you turn the ball over, like Rondo did, normally that shot goes in. And the Celtics were very, very fortunate. They got very casual on that play. Paul Pierce did not come meet the ball. He just held his hand up, and Pierce knocked it, and Heinrich knocked it loose. You got to execute late game situations. Look at Paul Pierce here. He said, you know, woo, dodge that one.
The whole series just felt like that, huh?
Yeah, that's what you and I are going to do after the game. Woo! 7 games, Kevin. We've had 5 of them here on TNT. What a joy this has been. The competitive energy and effort from both of these teams. How about Chicago today? Looked like they were down on the in the tough spot, down 14 and a half, nothing going right for them, and battled back. And had that 3 gone by Ben Gordon, it would have been a 1-possession game, and the shot clock, there would have still been a possession. They would have had to play it out.
Well, the Bulls cut the margin to 3, 89-86. That's as close as they have come. Rondo will inbound. Boston is out of timeouts. Marbury is whacked in backcourt. And Ben Gordon picks up the foul, number 3. Gordon is at a 33-point night. Rose has put in 18. 12 by Selman. 16 off the bench by Kirk Heinrich. Miller has fouled out, and Noah has fouled out. You know, Doc Rivers did a nice job tonight, Doug. When Perkins picked up his 4th personal foul, he was jockeying bodies in and out of there and trying to fiddle with his lineup and nurse any time he could get before he could put Perkins back in the game.
He's coaching a totally different team than what he was going to have in the playoffs. Everybody thought Kevin Garnett was going to be back. They were 18-7 without him. Everybody thought he was going to come back. But how about the way they started out the playoffs? Danny Ainge has a heart attack, has to go to the hospital. Kevin Garnett is pronounced out of the playoffs. That's the way they started, and the Bulls came in and win game 1 in overtime, and the emotion has just been up and down throughout. Finally, it looks like Boston is going to finish this off here in 7.
Off the Thomas screen over Pierce, Gordon with the 3. Thomas had a hand on it, but he knocks it right to House, who is fouled by Salmons. 12.8 to play here in the 4th quarter. And Eddie House will be at the line as Salmons picks up his 5th personal foul.
And we can't forget about Leon Poe, who is one of the most popular players on this team. It really hit Doc Rivers hard when this young guy blew out his knee in game 1 of the series. And there's Leon Poe, a free agent. Doc Rivers is lobbying that the Celtics will re-sign him. You see that smile on his face, a very popular player. They miss hit ruggedness under the basket, especially with Garnett being out.
15 consecutive free throws made by Boston. Well, Doug, let's go back and look at this number 7 seed Chicago and the thrills they've given us over the last couple of weeks.
Well, Vinny Del Negro is going to be a much better coach next year after going through this. This team is much better.